BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests in here, the fine folks from Meeple Town. It's Dean and Deron. We're talking spicy hot games, and one of those is one that Verla surprised me. I don't know anything about this game, Verla. I want to hear you tell me about Mind Space, the Gumbo Overlord with a scoop. I don't know this game. Kelly knows this game. Verla knows this game. I don't know it.
This is thanks to Kelly, which Darren Kelly is my mom. Just side note. We got together this weekend. She lives up in Washington State. I'm in Oregon, and Portland's big board game convention, Game Storm, was happening, and we decided to go check it out. And Mom brought this along. We were at the same table, but playing different games. I was learning Macau with a group, and she played like 4 games in the time that we were learning Macau, which was awesome. I wanted to put that on this list too, side note. But anyways, she had this one out, and one of the guys that was playing with me was like, "What is that?" I was like, "I don't know." Something she brought, never heard of it. And she and I got the chance to play it the next day before we left town. And I was instantly like, okay, I'm really glad you made me play this and you brought it because it's awesome. So it's from All Play Games in a small square box like Mountain Goats, if you've played Mountain Goats.
Mm-hmm. So it's that same style of box.
It's that same style box, same little size. And I mentioned earlier in the show, polyominoes is speaking my language. So the whole theme of this is like, what are you putting in your mind? You've got like relationships and friendships and, taking care of your mental health. And, it's kind of tacked on, I guess, but you've got your boards. Or if you go back for a second, BJ, everybody has a player board and, you just need to go back one. But there's,
this one?
no, that's fine. The middle of the board, you'll see, or that board in the middle is what I'm trying to say. Stop. Or there. Stop. There we go. Okay. So the top of that is your player board. And you've got different colored markers that represent the 5 different colored dice that you can roll. And kind of like Phil Walker Harding, silver and gold, you've got cards that you're laying out that have polyomino shapes on them. I think there's like 17 different shapes. There's no repeats. And you have, I think, 5 laid out. Then the end stack is just a 2-piece that you can always default to if you can't play anything else. And you roll the dice, put them in numerical order from one side to the other. It's just 1 through 5 or 1 through 6, I guess it could be. But the 6, I believe, goes on that end stack that's always the same. And then you're choosing, a dice color and the shape that it's corresponding with to fill in on your board. And the board represents like the regions of your brain and gray matter in your brain. And you're trying to put these shapes in kind of in ways that, number one, fill up your board, but meet certain conditions. Like you want purple next to orange to score points. You want, if you pick a pink shape, whatever that shape may be, you want to try and get that shape again on your board in other colors to score points, so on and so forth. So there's just a lot of different stuff with that and different ways to score. And it's quick. I was looking up on BGG right before here. It said 30 minutes, maybe if that's 4 players with AP. We were knocking through it pretty quickly. I think we finished in like 15 to 20 max. And it was, dry erase markers, dry erase boards. So you play it again really quickly, and it was just fun. If you like polyominoes like me, it's a great little challenge. You've got bonus or goal cards, 3 goal cards that everybody's trying to be the first person. It kind of reminded me of the cards or the goals in Welcome to, how like the first person to get it gets a higher number, and then it flips over. And if you're the second, you get half that. It's kind of like that. And
that's the ones on the upper right-hand side of this.
Yeah.
There? Okay.
Yeah. Like you've got your gray matter in the middle of your board. And one of the goal cards that we had when we played was, be the first person to completely surround your gray matter. And then
I don't think anybody's ever said that in a board game before. So you said you roll the dice and you put them in order of strength, and then you hand them blindly to the person to the left. Is that right?
And plays the Zavatar.
Yes, only if there's a bear, though.
Yes.
Only if there's a bear. So
I'm intrigued, I think. I mean, I like the individual parts, Steve.
Yeah.
yeah,
The dice, the draft and write, the polyanimals. I don't know about the whole thing, but I like the way it looks, and I like snappy rolling rights. Any kind
This
of
is-
rider that's
definitely
snappy.
a snappy rolling
Yeah.
right. I guess there was a deluxeified version that she got, and there's a regular version that the deluxe ones had like your dice look like brains.
They do.
They're not just solid
I like
squares.
the artwork too, by the way.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the artwork
Mhm.
was pretty cool.
So
Lots
the
of ways to
scoreboards that we
score.
see are they
Mhm.
always the same in every game, or do they have different score sheets that you have? How does that work?
That's a good question. We were whipping
Kelly
through it before I left. So,
Mhm.
Mom, can you chime in the chat there and
Yeah.
answer that? Because I don't know. We were just like, we got to play one game before we each leave and drive our separate directions.
Right.
Meeple Town, have
Use-
you guys heard of
yeah.
this one before?
I've heard Darren mention it, I believe, if I remember right. Can I ask a quick question, and then I'm going to let Darren talk because I know he has more to say about this. But Verla, how does this compare to your beloved Patchwork?
Mm.
Oh, that's a good question.
I just played Patchwork right before the show, right before Boggle, and I was like, I love Patchwork. And then you pull this out, and I'm like, wow, this looks great. I love this.
I feel like this takes Patchwork up a notch or two just in the challenge because you've got the different colors. Like, in Patchwork, you just want to fit your shapes around and fill your board. In this one, you do want to fill your board, but you've got these 5 different colors that each score in different ways. So it adds the challenge of like, well, just having more strategy in your choices of what shape and color you're going to select because, well, if I choose this one, if I choose this one that plays off of a different shape or the same color with a
Wow.
same shape, different color, these cards are going to go away. I might not get a chance to score that again if I don't make the right choice right now. So it's definitely thinkier than Patchwork.
And Darren,
Interesting.
you've played it, right?
I have not played it. It is one that maybe we talked about in the conversation with the Kickstarter sale, because this is all play always. It seems to release these small games all at once, and Sale is one that I've played a lot and I adore.
Sale's a blast, yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's trick taking. This is some polyomino flip and right action, which, like you said, it does kind of sound. Gives me some vibes of the Silver and Gold from Phil Walker
Yeah.
Harding.
Yeah.
But again, more thinky because that one's fine. It's good to play with some people, just for a few minutes. I can't stick with that one for long. This one, again, just from the theme standpoint, and because it's got that other little extra thinky twist there, I'd like to try this one out sometime.
I think this is Phil Walker harder.
The wordsmith.
She said this came with Sale, Couture, and Chomp. I played Sale. I haven't played the other two yet. Have not. I'm interested. For me, this would be a try. Anybody else?
I would be interested in playing this. Hearing you talk about Patchwork, which is a favorite of mine, and favorably compare it makes me think I got to get into it. But I feel kind of the same way that Darren does about Silver and Gold. Good, but over and done with, and it's like it's like a bowl of chips. I don't feel full after it, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not eating enough chips. That's the problem.
Yeah, the
right
problem
chips.
is I used to eat enough chips, and now I know. Now I know what each bowl of chips costs me.
Mindspace looks like the kind of game you'd play at the start of the night or at the end of the night, which is how we did Silver and Gold. That it wasn't a game.
Sounds great,
It
Kelly.
wasn't like we were going to Anubis to play Silver and Gold. It was like, hey, we're waiting on that fourth one. Somebody and then anybody got a game, and we'd play Silver and Gold, right?
Yeah, definitely a good filler.
Cool.
Definitely more strategic than Silver and Gold.
Good little tapas game. Okay, that's a try. Good one, Verla. And I didn't know anything about it, so
I didn't either.